So, I wanted to share this experience with you because it was quite interesting actually. And I was in a room of like it was like a room full of women doing like a women's wellbeing group, and it's a lovely group, really really nice. And I noticed that we were doing like an activity where we were all painting, and I noticed that my eyes were really aching, and I I felt kind of uncomfortable about saying anything. I didn't really say anything actually, but my eyes were really aching, and I realised when I looked up that we had like fluorescent lights above us. Um, when I'm at home, always like lamps. Basically, we don't even use the main lights when I'm at home. Um, but I started to just like my eyes were going really funny. I started to kind of do this, a little bit of kind of shading. I was thinking to myself, should I say something to someone? And I actually didn't in the end. I didn't say anything to anybody. And I thought, isn't this interesting? Because I'm very comfortable with this group of people. They're all very, very lovely. But I almost felt like it would kind of bother people if I said something about the lights. And I thought to myself, should I ask? Should I talk about, should I go to a different part of the room? But then I felt like I wasn't part of the group. And then I was like, well, should I just stay where I am and just put up with it? And that's really essentially what I did. I just kind of covered my eyes. And I was a little bit concerned because I was thinking maybe people are going to be thinking there's something wrong if I'm near like this. But I just covered my eyes like I would maybe if it was sun shining or something. Um, but it has made me consider like, maybe like having like glasses or something to kind of like help with kind of situations like that, because I feel really uncomfortable saying that I feel that. And it's really new to me to notice it really. So it's a really interesting thing because I have noticed it in other places, but I've been able to kind of remove myself from the situation. And this was like a group where we were all doing something together, and it wasn't the kind of place where you just kind of wander off and just walk out. Um, so yeah, it was really interesting because I just didn't know how to approach it, and I didn't know how to say, actually, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I kind of felt like that would be considered as just moaning, even though it's like I have with the sensory side of things, and obviously it's quite overwhelming with like there was lots of chatter in the background. But I ended up going into my own little world really, and I think that's how I have done it. I did it when I was a kid, is just like in school and things like that. Because obviously nobody knew I was autistic, I would just kind of probably go into my own little world and just kind of, hide what I was feeling and just carry on, you know. Um, I just wondered, yeah, how do we approach things like that? How do we kind of learn how to say things? Because I don't know if people really understand sensory like sensory difficulties where you're kind of just like in a room and things are just really really bright, things like that. And usually, obviously, if you're kind of in a situation where you can change the situation, you will. So, yeah, just curious whether, anybody's ever had that experience and maybe how you've dealt with it, or have you just kind of kept quiet?